You can get to a place where you never give an excuse because it's a habit based on repetition of taking accountability and responsibility so fast, you don't give an excuse. Like, hey, that's on me. And you keep going. Hey, I chose that. You're right. Not that I couldn't because, hey, I decided not to. That's it. Not, I couldn't go. No, you actually could. You could go put a key, or now you don't need a key. You just push a button on your car, start the car, and you know how to get there. You could have gotten there, but you chose not to go there for whatever reason. So these are all habits, guys, based on repetition, based on reps, based on how many times you do something, say something, act a certain way.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Darnell Self with another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. Listen, I'm here by myself solo today. I know without Mrs. Self's commentary, it's not the same. But you guys had me today for about 15 minutes to talk about something that I feel is powerful once you embrace this one concept, this philosophy. Do you know how powerful self-talk is? Like self-talk, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves. And that truly does reflect what it is that we attract for ourselves. Like it will result in something. Maybe something you don't want, or maybe something you want, depending on what the self-talk is. But let me break this down for you today, because I thought, I gotta share this on the Self-Talk Experience podcast. And that is the power of repetition. The power of repetition. Do you realize that some folks are so used to saying things like, yeah, it probably won't work. Most people don't succeed at that. I don't even know why I would try. Because they're so used to saying that, that's just what they say now. Like repetition, if you're not careful, will lead you down a road and you won't know how you got there. And it's because it's so normal now for you to say what you say because you said it so often. You don't even realize it. It's like, it's probably normal for you to brush your teeth. You don't think about it. You know, you're walking to the sink, you grab the toothpaste, you grab the toothbrush, maybe you have a water pick. Like, it's just natural. You don't think about it. It's repetitive. It's habit. And this, my friends, is what causes so many of us either challenges or it's causing us to win really big. So, reading. I read so often that I don't think about whether I should read it. I don't think about gotta read. It's who I am now. I am a reader. You see? It's been so repetitive. That's just what I do. It's like brushing my teeth. How do you get to that place? Because everything changes when you start repeating the things that will result in a better version of you. And when you become a better version of you, you attract things the new you only attracts. You repel things the new you now repels without you even thinking about it. Like you don't even tolerate certain things because the new you doesn't. The new you has boundaries that you didn't have before. The new you doesn't allow things in your lane that we allowed before. And so, like in my business, in my line of work, people say things often like, yeah, the last few people that I tried to help achieve a level of success didn't do it. And so they're assuming now that no one's going to do it. They're assuming now that everybody's going to take a long time because perhaps it took them a long time. And this is what people do in all areas, by the way. They're assuming no one's going to make it. No one's going to get a scholarship. no one's going to get the job because they didn't, because they had to apply to 8 different careers before they got their job. And they think, oh yeah, it's probably going to take. Now, don't get me wrong, data can suggest a number and can help you to manage that expectation. However, I'm talking now about repetition. And if we found ourselves saying the same things, we find ourselves complaining all the time, we find ourselves giving excuses all the time, then what happens is we start to become an excuse giver. Like, we don't even realize we're that person. Every time you talk to that person, they're like, yeah, because, I got to do this, and I got to do that. And you're like, really? That's just who they are now. And the person who used to be that way, who's no longer that way, notices it quickly because they used to be that person. You're like, oh, that was me. It's repetition, right? It's also, you can get to a place where you never give an excuse because it's a habit based on repetition of taking accountability and responsibility so fast, you don't give an excuse. You're like, hey, that's on me. And you keep going. Hey, I chose that. You're right. Not that I couldn't because, hey, I decided not to. That's it. Not, I couldn't go. No, you actually could. You could go put a key, or now you don't need a key. You just push a button on your car, start the car, and you know how to get there. You could have gotten there, but you chose not to go there for whatever reason. So these are all habits, guys, based on repetition, based on reps, based on how many times you do something, say something, act a certain way. And then you don't know it. You don't know you're manipulative. You don't know you're sarcastic, facetious. And the people and some people do. They're like, I know I'm a sarcastic person. And some folks don't even realize it. You're like, man, people don't want to be around me. People don't realize that. They're like, I didn't know I was a narcissist. So, what am I saying here, guys? We all have a day one. Because I want you to get, this is the part of repetition I think most people underestimate. Sometimes we think repetition has to be every day. We think repetition has to be a lot. And it can be a little, and it doesn't have to be every day. It could be a cadence. Like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do this. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out. So now I repeat that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And before you know it, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you don't even think about it. It's what day is it? It's Monday. Oh, okay, set my alarm. I'm going to the gym. This is what you do. Doesn't have to be every day. Doesn't have to be a lot. You can do, because the people waiting for a lot and they don't repeat anything. For an example, if you're like, I can't do push-ups. What if you did one push-up? And there was a first time, because it's day one, remember I talked about that? The first time you've ever done one push-up for 10 days in a row. This is my first time ever doing 10 days in a row. I've done it 3 days and I stopped. I did this, I walked the neighborhood for 3 days and I stopped. This is my first time walking the neighborhood for 10 days. You see? That's repetition still. You see? This is what I'm saying, guys. Most of us never get to the place that we want to get to because we're overwhelming ourselves. We're overthinking what it is because we're thinking it has to be more often than it is, and we're thinking that it has to be bigger than what it is. What I'm suggesting is that you take a smaller amount of it so that you start accomplishing it, and the more you accomplish it, the more you'll start to have the feeling of winning because I did it. I did the one. I did the 5 minutes. Right? If you like, hey, look, I never get 30 minutes done on the treadmill ever. Well, start with 10 minutes. Accomplish the 10. And now you've done 3 days of 10. For the first time, you actually did 3 days on the treadmill. Even though it was 10 minutes, it was 3 days of 10. I hope you guys are getting this. This is critical for us because when you start to have the wins, then you start trusting yourself. And when you start trusting yourself, you can tell yourself things that you couldn't have told yourself before without you thinking, I'm lying. I've said this to myself before and I didn't do it. I said I was going to do it 20 other times and I never did. I said I was going to start the business. I said I was going to wake up earlier. I said I was going to start to read or listen to podcasts and grow myself. I said, right? So the key is to get some wins in there. Listen, it may not be I'm going to read a whole book. I'm going to get through a chapter. I'm going to read one page because we're like, hey, read 10 pages a day. And you've never gotten to 10 pages a day ever before in 5 days in a row. Maybe you've done 2 days, but you've never got 5 days in a row at 10 pages. Do one page. Do one page. And then you do one page 5 days in a row. You've never done that. It's your first time. That's a celebration, you see? And now you might start 2 pages. And before you know it, it's just who you are now. It's what you do. You are a 2-page-a-day reader. You're getting further along in books than you've ever gotten. And then you start finishing books. It took me a minute before I started finishing books. Can I be transparent? It took me a minute before I started finishing books, guys. And then I finished. I was like, man, I finished. Then I started finishing books. It's who I was. I was a finisher. I hope that this makes sense to you guys. I want to help you with your self-talk because some of us beat up on ourselves so much because we haven't gone all the way. We haven't gone to the distance that we thought we would go, but you started. You got on the track. You did something. Now consistently do something. And then eventually you may finish. All right, guys. This has been another self-talk experience episode. And I just want us to work on saying better things to ourselves. And you'll know that you're saying better things to yourself when you start to catch yourself when you're not saying so nice things to yourself. Not so nice things. You'll start to realize, ooh, that wasn't good. I need to change how I say that. That's how you know. Because now you're aware of it. That's the first thing to change anything is to become aware of it. All right, guys, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully my wife will be back with me so that you guys will listen more because I know without her voice, you're like, dude, you don't even say the and right. All right, guys, take care. Remember, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves will eventually determine what and even who we attract for ourselves. Let's be repetitive. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.